Hi, welcome back to Q Entertainment, where we continue to play Magic the Gathering. In a previous video, we played our first draft, and in this video, we'll play that again. It's still quick draft Throne of Eldraine, so for the same decks. At some point, there'll be a little countdown clock, like it's showing on the historic, and then it either reverts back to the Kaldheim, or maybe with a new set coming up, it might use the new set. So we can use gems, but for now we'll just use gold. And we'll go ahead and we'll start. Okay, so the first pack, the rare card is a Charming Prince. When it enters the battlefield, you can either scry 2 or you gain 3 life, exile, or you can exile another target creature you control and then return it to the battlefield you control at the beginning of the next end step. The beginning of the next end step. So you could save something, I guess. Or if you have something that's got a enters the battlefield ability. Claim the firstborn, gain control of target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less, and then untap it, gains haste. That seems pretty good. Sir Ferren the Henge Hammer. When it attacks another target attacking creature, gets plus X until end of turn, where X is Sir Ferren's power. It's a good card, I think. Thunderous Snapper. When it cast a spell with 5 or greater, draw a card. That's a good ability, but you need to be able to play 5 mana things. Ventress Paladin enters with a +1 counter. Festive Funeral, target creature -X, where X is the card in your graveyard. Then another target, so this is when you cast another spell. Smitten Swordmaster, you gain X life, and each opponent loses X life, where X is the number of knights. So this Charming Prince seems okay. I'm not quite convinced it's the best. It doesn't have anything like to build your deck around. Claim firstborn, decent. This seems quite good. Another target attacking creature gets ++ until end of turn. This one seems really good, I think, although it's for more expensive. You'll need to have expensive spells, which probably in the 40 card deck. I'm not sure if that's going to be happening. So maybe the Charming Prince is the card to go with, where you get to scry 2. So I'm still sort of trying to figure out which is the first card to pick. It's a bit annoying because it sort of affects the colors you end up picking. So this is a creature, it's a 2 mana cost. Get you scry, gain 3 life, or exile another creature. I mean, this gives something else +2. This says you claim the firstborn, you take an opponent's creature. So when this enters the battlefield, scry 2, that seems okay. I mean, let's take it. Okay, Linden Steadfast Queen. Whenever a white creature you control attacks, you gain 1 life. So we had that in the previous deck. It was okay. Glass Casket removal. Venerable Knight. When it dies, put a counter on target knight. Order of Midnight. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. And then it's also a flying 2/2. Silver Flame Squire. Target creature gets +2. +2. Didn't say please. Counter target spell. That's a good one. Moonlit Scavengers. When it enters the battlefield, if you control an artifact or enchantment, return target creature and opponent control to its owner's hand. It's good, but it's a 6. Paladin, forever young. Put in a number of cards from the graveyard onto your library, and then you draw a card. That seems pretty good. Memory Theft. Target opponent reveals their hand. You may choose a non-land card, and then they discard it, and then you may put a card that has an adventure. that player owns from exile into that player's graveyard. Okay, so if they've an adventure card, you can get rid of it. Trebuchet, weapon rack, and a sanctuary. You may put a target instant or source card from a graveyard on top of your library. So if we play London, that means we have to have it's better if we have a white only deck. Order of Midnight's Flying, Glass Casket removal. I think I want to go with the removal. This will force us to be white deck, which I don't like because there's some good black cards. So I'll take the Glass Casket for now. Agewell Innkeeper, whenever you cast a creature spell that has an adventure, you can draw a card, which is usually good, but you have to have adventure cards. And it is card draw. And this one, each other non-human creature you control enters the battlefield with a +1 counter on it. So that's good, but it does mean we'll have to add green and red, which is quite difficult. And it's a 3/3. Up to 3 target creatures can't block. Paladin, +1 counter. Provisions. Creatures you control get +0/+1. Turtle. When it turtle attacks another target, attacking non-human creature can't be blocked this turn. That seems to be quite good. So tiny enchanted creature gets -2. It gets -6 if its controller has 7 or more cards in the graveyard. Sort of like that one. Barrow Wishes. Gorin Brick Paladin. So it comes onto the battlefield with +1 counters and it can't be blocked with creatures power 2 or less. Rumlock Knight. Yeah, it's tough. Get a food token, make a creature stronger. The turtle's pretty good. So tiny seems pretty good. So if the opponent has something we don't know how to block, yeah, let's see, maybe we're blue and white. Mystical Dispute. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 3. Joust. They fight each other. Lonesome Unicorn. Prize Griffin, it's a flying creature. Run away together. Target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life. Ah, but if you play 3 black, you can create a food token. Raging Redcap, it's got double strike. Searing Barrage deals 5 damage. The drawbridge ended up being difficult to play against yesterday. In the previous games, add 1 mana of any color. That's good for ramping. Return to nature. I think I'll take the Mystical Dispute. Counter target spell. Although if I don't draw into it, then it might, like late game, might not be too useful. Loch Dragon. Whenever Loch Dragon enters the battlefield or attacks, you may discard a card if you do draw a card. Embereth Shieldbreaker. Destroy target artifact. It's good, but you have to have it in your hand at the right time. This seems pretty good. When it attacks, you may discard a card. Or when it enters the battlefield. Paladin, Queen of Ice, tap target creature. It doesn't untap. Whenever it deals combat damage to a creature, tap that creature. It doesn't untap during its controller's next step. Tap target opponent discards 2 cards. Whenever Reaper of the Night attacks, if the defending player has 2 or fewer cards in hand, it gains flying. It's a good card, but it's a 7. I like this because it's flying. The damage to target creature. This is pretty good. For 4 mana, you can just deal a bunch of damage, but you sacrifice it. I think I'll take the dragon. Flying, Fortifying Provisions, Lonesome Unicorn, Unexplained Vision. You draw 3 cards. That seems good, but it's 5 mana. It's a bit expensive. Gargoyle. So it's either I'm thinking either the Unicorn or the Unexplained Vision. So it's quite expensive. So if we're in a tight spot and we get this, we have to play 5 mana, we get to draw 3 cards. This you can cast for 3 mana at least. I think I'll take this one. Get another one, once and future. Turn target card from your graveyard to your hand. So it's something complicated. Outflank deals damage to target attacking or blocking creature equal to the number of creatures you control. Corridor is just a blocker basically. Memory theft. So I'm thinking the outflank might be good here, or another unicorn. Paladin, Mad Ratter. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create 2 1/1 black rat creature tokens. So I don't think I'm going to go with that. We don't have any card draw spells. Mantle of Tides, equipped creature gets +1/+2. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, you can basically attach Mantle of Tides to another creature. Castle Drawbridge. Thinking to play the Drawbridge. It was really difficult to play against this thing. My previous game. Another Claim the Firstborn. Dummy and Wishful Merfolk. Claim the Firstborn. It's quite powerful, but it means we have to play red. This is just a defender. It doesn't even have flying, but I mean, it's a 2 creatures, so it's cheap. Moonlight Scavengers. This can come in. It can return a target creature an opponent controls to their hand. Vantress Paladin is flying. And it can come in with a +1 if we've spent at least 3 blue mana. This one, basically it's a tapped land. I think I'll take the Paladin. It's a flying creature. Fortifying Provisions, Knight and the Turtle. So this is for 3 mana. All creatures get +0/+1. This is just a 3 mana 3/2. This is a turtle. Whenever the turtle attacks another target, attacking non-human creature can't be blocked. I think I'll take the turtle. That seems like a good thing. So either another unicorn or another drawbridge. So unicorn is 3 mana to create a 2/2 white knight creature token with vigilance. It seems pretty good, but we have 2 already. There's a 0/2 bridge, a 0/4 bridge for 2 mana of any color. I think I'll play that. So either of these. Let's put this in the sideboard. We can't play red. Gargoyle. Not particularly the best card. Okay, again, new pack, Happy Ever After. So I think this was saw this before. When it enters the battlefield, each player gains 5 life and draws a card. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 5 colors among permanents you control, and there are 6 or more card types among permanents you control, and or cards in your graveyard, and your life total is greater than your starting total, you win the game. It just sounds so complicated. Another flying creature with +1/+1 if you spend 3 mana. Another Mystical Dispute. Resolute Rider. Really good abilities, but I'm not sure if we'll have the mana for that. Outflank again. Squire. Unexplained Vision. We didn't take that one before. This is a 3 mana flying. They'll take the 3 mana with flying. 3 mana creature cost. Profit. Yep. The Resolute Rider gets indestructibility, but you have to have potentially 7 mana to play it and save him. I think I'll take the flying creature. The Resolute Rider might be there when we get the second round to look at that collection of cards. This is a good card, but it's black. I don't think I can pivot at this point. The spell costs 2 less if an opponent controls a green permanent. Whenever Oakham and Mercy deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. That's a good card if you had a white deck. Beloved Princess can't be blocked with creatures with power 3 or greater. It's only a 1-1. Might be worth putting in. Maybe this one. It can give the target creature +2/+2 until end of turn, and it untaps. Or the Paladin, which we have one already. I'll take the Squire. Emry, Lurker of the Loch. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each artifact you control. When it enters the battlefield, you can mill 4 cards, and it's got an ability that says, choose a target artifact card in your graveyard. You may cast that card this turn. So that requires us to have artifacts, which we don't have too many of. So we have the Glass Casket. I mean, it's a good spell if we get maybe more Drawbridge. Let's see what else we have. Queen of Ice. That's a good card as well. All of these cards are pretty good. Ardent Tactician, tap target up to 2 target creatures. I think I'll take this card. Hopefully we can maybe get more artifacts. So when when this thing or another non-human creature enters the battlefield, you may draw a card, but it's quite expensive. Mystical Dispute. An Ox. Opt, scry 1, draw a card. Here's an artifact. If at least 3 mana of the same color was spent, it enters with a +1 counter. So it will go with our Emry, Lurker of the Loch. Or do we want another Mystical Dispute? I think we'll take the Mystical Dispute. Don't have that many. Clockwork Servant. When Clockwork Servant enters the battlefield, if at least 3 mana of the same color was spent to cast it, draw a card. This will work well with the Emry, Lurker, Paladin, Flutterfox. So as long as you control an artifact or enchantment, this thing has flying. That's pretty good. There's a Griffin, 3/4 with flying. Squire, Merfolk Secret Keeper. Just says target player mills 4 cards. Yeah, this is quite tough. It's a 1. I'll take the 1 mana. Creature. Arcanist Owl, when it enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact or enchantment card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library. It's a 3/3 flying, which is good. Another Lonesome Unicorn. Charmed Sleep. Tap target creature, doesn't untap. That seems pretty good. A Tomb Raider, when it enters the battlefield, draw a card. And a Plains, when it enters the battlefield, untap, put a +1 counter on a creature you control. I think I'll take the sleep thing. Siege of the Falls, when another thing enters the battlefield, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card, or you get outflank, or the Signpost Scarecrow. Basically, for 2 mana, you can add 1 mana of another color. It's a 2/4. It's interesting. I don't think it's the greatest. Let's get outflank. Shine Chaser. Flying Vigilance. It gets +1 as long as you control an artifact. +1 as long as you control an enchantment. I think that's a good card. It's a 3 mana cost. Flying with Vigilance. So we should try get more artifacts and enchantments. Another outflank. Sorcery. Draw 3 cards. And if you cost 3 mana, blue mana, you can scry. And this says when this thing enters the battlefield, you may put target instant or sorcery card from a graveyard on top of your library. I think I'll take the Unexplained Vision this time around. Beloved Princess. Flying Provisions. Vantress Paladin, we have one of those. I think I'll take the Provisions. Mantle of Tide. Equipped creature gets +1/+2. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, attach it to something else. It's an equipment. Another drawbridge. I think I'll take the drawbridge again. Okay, we have 3. I didn't notice that actually. And we'll take the cow, but I'll just put it in my sideboard. Ardenwell Paladin. It's a 4. This is a 5. This can come in with +1 counters on it. I'll take it. Tapped land. Third pack. Wildborn Preserver. When another non-human creature enters the battlefield you control, you may pay X. When you do, put X 1/1 counters on Wildborn Preserver. Okay, that's pretty good. Whenever a non-human creature enters the battlefield, you may pay X. When you do, put X counters on Wildborn Preserver. But that means we'll need green mana. Do we have a lot of non-humans? We have 4 humans. That would be nice to have if we had to put some green mana in the deck to be able to play it. Sorcerer's Broom. Whenever you sacrifice another permanent, you may pay 3. If you do, create a token that's a copy of Sorcerer's Broom. Okay, we don't really have sacrifice things. Knight of the Keep. True Love's Keys. Exile target artifact or enchantment, and you draw a card. I think we'll take this. This could get rid of something if we've been enchanted. Didn't take the green card. Just, I think, trying to get green in here might be too difficult. Creatures you control get +1 until end of turn. That seems like a good ability. 4 mana. See what else there's. Shining Armor. When Shining Armor enters the battlefield, attach it to a target knight. Equipped creature has +0 and +2. Do we have knights? We have 2. So you could cast it for 2 and then equip it for 3. Silver Flame Ritual. Put a +1 counter on each creature you control. That seems pretty good. A turtle. We have one of those. Tomb Raider. I thought we had one of these two. Maybe we pick it this time. Gargoyle. So the armor or the Silver Flame Ritual puts a +1 counter on each creature you control, but it's sorcery, so it's not instant, so we can't. I think I'll play the Tomb Raider. Enchanted Carriage. When it enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 white mouse creature tokens. It's got a 5 mana cost. That's quite high. Trapped in the Tower. Enchanted creature without flying. Enchanted creature can't attack or block. That seems like a good card. Charmed Sleep. Basically, it's the same. It's a bit better because it doesn't only. This one only targets flying creatures. This one targets anything. There's a counter spell. Didn't say please. We have 2 mystical disputes. I think I'll take the Charmed Sleep. Hypnotic Sprite. Instant adventure counter target spell with converted mana cost 3 or less. I think I'll take that, and that's also a 2 mana flying. There's an opt. Paladin, weapon rack. When Flex Intruder deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice it. When you do, destroy target artifact. That's quite interesting. Sir Kera the Bold. Deals damage, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Wow, that's quite a card. It's red, but I'll take this. Hypnotic Sprite. Elite Headhunter. Flutterfox. As long as you control an artifact or enchantment, this thing has flying. I think we might take that. Fortifying Provisions. We have one of those. Run away together. Another drawbridge. We have 3 already. Henswalker. Again, it's a creature. I think we have enough creatures at this point, so we sort of need. Actually, we have probably too many cards now. So we're going to have to get rid of things. We have 4 enchantments, 4 artifacts. So we probably have to get rid of some creatures. So take the fox for now, but we probably have to get rid of it. Drawing thing. There's an opt to scry to draw a card. Giant opportunity. Merfolk. So we could just take this to have it in our sideboard. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a blue fairy creature token. This seems like a good card to have in general. I think here seems important for this draft. Sorcerer's Broom, Cauldron's Gift. You may choose a creature card. If you do, return it to the battlefield. That seems like a good card to have also. So I'll just put it in the sideboard. Ritual. So this says put +1 on each creature you control. And your creatures gain vigilance. That's actually quite good. So they attack and they don't tap. Fellow Peasant. Noble. I think I'll take this one, put it in the sideboard. Another opt. We'll just take it. Thrill of Possibility is a Wolf's Quarry. Create 3 board tokens. When this creature dies, create a food token. Yeah, we'll put that in the sideboard. 7 dwarves. Yeah, so we have a bit too many cards. We have 17 lands, 19 creatures. So we need to get rid of some creatures and some lands. So maybe 1 too many drawbridge. I'll take 1 opt away. I want to keep the counter spells. So we thought the Flutter Fox wasn't any too special. Charming Prince, we'll keep that. Glasgow Orchid, Silver Flame Squire seems okay. Unexplained Vision, draw 3 cards. Dragon, we'd like to keep. Paladin, the Turtle, True Love's Kiss, exile target artifact or enchantment. So I think the 2 Paladins, we can get rid of the white one. This one has flying. It's a 2/2. This one's a 2/5, but this one, as I say, it's got flying. It just seems better. Charmed Sleep, Tomb Raider. So let's see all the sort of counter spells we have. Glass Casket. We have the Mystical Disputes. We have this thing, True Love's Kiss. Ends battlefield mill for cards. Choose target artifact in your graveyard. You may cast that card this turn. This is an enchantment. Creature Fox. I think I'll take the Flutter Fox out. So this is sort of a counter spell, like a thing. So is this, I guess, it weakens a creature. It's an enchantment. So where was this? This thing says you may play an artifact. Maybe this isn't so good. Though it does have flash. We can play it like an instant. Charming Prince, we'll keep it. Merfolk, it's just a 3/2. It doesn't have flying, it's a defender. I'll take it out. Hypnotic Sprite, keep that. Drawbridge. Fortifying Provisions, maybe we get rid of that. Each creature you control that has an adventure enters the battlefield with a +1 counter. We don't really have any. We have like 1 adventure. The Squire. So maybe we take this out. 3 more cards. Let's see, we have 17 lands. Does it count this one? So it's 16, 17, yeah. Unicorn, do we take 1 out? I think so. It's 5 mana cost, it's very expensive. Unexplained Vision for 5 mana. You get to draw 3 cards. That might be too slow. Adamant. Let's see, need to take out 2 more cards. 3 mana. You need 2 blue. I think I'll take out one of these Charm Sleeps. You need 2 blue to play it. Might end up in situations where we don't have blue. And I think I'll take out the Unexplained Vision. Yeah, I think that's fine. True Love's Kiss, yeah. Charm Sleep, Basket, Outflank. Yeah, so we have up to draw a card. We have this to draw a card. Yeah, I don't think we need it there. This thing, Unexplained Vision. I think this is quite a decent deck. And with that, I think we'll attempt our first game. Okay, we've got a match, I think. Let's see what hand we get up against Goo. Something like that. Okay, we have 3 land, that's always good. We have a Secret Keeper. We can make the opponent mill a card. We have the Drawbridge. I think that's a decent hand. We even have a Turtle. So we'll play this and we'll immediately mill the opponent. See what's in the deck. Ooh, a bunch of lands. That's good for us. Got rid of their Fervent Champion. It's quite annoying. It's first strike, it's got haste. They play a red cap. Already we have a blocker on the field. Maybe we should have played the Drawbridge. Gives stuff haste. And it's a 2 mana cost. We sort of wasted a mana there. Let's see how we're going to play this next. One less for each artifact you control. When enters the battlefield, mill 4 cards. Chooses an artifact card in your graveyard, you may cast it this turn. So 1-2. The opponent might have something like Frostbite or Bone Crushing Giant, in which case this won't survive. So let's leave this till we have more mana. They had a Rimrock Knight. Okay, we'll play a white land and we'll play the Drawbridge. And we can't attack. I mean, we can attack, but it's not going to do any damage. This is a 1-5, that's good. Storm Fist Crusader. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player draws a card and loses 1 life. That's strange, that's going to benefit us as well. Are they going to attack? Nope. We have another Drawbridge. Let's play this. We mill 4 cards. 3, 4. We milled our Glass Casket away. And the Tomb Raider. That did not end up quite as well as I'd hoped. Should we attack? This is a 1-2. Probably not. Okay. Counter target spell with converted mana cost 3 or less. Okay, but for that we need mana. We could just play it for a flying creature. Maybe we keep it around. Okay, they play this Swordmaster. Actually, they played this spell. You gain X life and each opponent loses X life, where X is the number of knights you control. Which was 2. 3, wow. Okay. Legend of the Well, you may discard a card if you do draw a card. So we could play the turtle, give it haste, and attack with both the turtle and the lurker and do 1 damage. Not really sure. Maybe just getting a flying creature on the battlefield is best thing. So we need to have 3 planes for this to work. And also to have this available, we need to leave 3. I'll just enter, and we'll need to leave 3 mana open. I will do that. We get a Charming Prince, which will let us scry or gain life or exile another creature you control. You own and return it to the battlefield under your control at the beginning of the next instant. So we can't counter this. You can cast spells only during your turn, and you can cast no more than 2 spells each turn. You may cast spells with convert mana cost less than or equal to the number of lands you control without paying. Wow, that's quite interesting, okay. But I think they'll play this and we'll cancel it. Counter it. So I don't really see benefit of exiling a creature we own. Let's counter the spell. So we could play this just for the scry. Do we have any artifacts? Actually, for some reason, I've missed the glass casket. You may cast that card this turn, but it won't let me. Not sure why that was. So, I should have played this flying creature first. Oh my goodness, that's unfortunate. Let's give this thing +1. I'll play the sprite. Okay, and so this says you can exile a creature with 3 mana. Exile target creature with 3 or less. So it's any of these. This can't block. This is a menace. This is lifelink. So I'll exile the Crusader. And we'll play this to scry, I think. You don't necessarily want more land. So we just played this turn. So let's give this haste so we can attack with this one and this one. So anything they block this with will die if they choose to block. This they can't block. So both the opponent and myself, we have a bunch of small creatures. I have a flying creature, which I always think is good in these sort of games. Okay, the opponent has something we can exile to draw a card for 4 mana. They have a trebuchet. Deals 1 damage to each opponent. Whenever a knight enters the battlefield under your control, untap it. Okay, and they got to cast it for free because of this, so we'll definitely get rid of that. Damage, 1 damage to each opponent. You may choose a creature card in your graveyard. If you do, return it to the battlefield with 1/1 counter on it. Wow, okay. They'll bring back the Fervent Champion. Or they get back Merchant of the Veil. Yep, it has discard a card, draw a card. 3 mana. They give their Weaselbag Red Cap +3. +2, I mean, and then they do it again. Pass. This thing says they may cast spells with converted mana cost less than or equal to the number of lands without paying their mana cost. So they might have all sorts of spells, actually. Let's hope they don't have anything. No. Okay. Our turn. So we'll get rid of this thing. So outflank deals damage to the target attacking or blocker creature. Okay, that's nice. So we can attack with this, we'll attack with this, and we'll attack with this. Let's hope they block something. Suspect they won't. I'm sure they might think something's up. So, which one do we save? I think we'll save the lurker. Ah, okay, this actually died without... I thought it would kill each other, but didn't. We don't have any more artifacts to play from the graveyard with the lurker. So we could just use these drawbridges to block anything, even if they will die, and bring them back. So that's pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Play the turtle. So just finished half of the deck already. Put any number of target creature cards from your graveyard to your library and draw a card. Wow, they play all of them. Merchant of the Veil. You may discard a card if you do draw a card. Okay. You may put any number of target creature cards from your graveyard on top of your library. Okay, so there was a Fervent Champion. I don't think any of them was too bad. They get... we can block pretty much everything. But it's sort of a stalemate staring match again. No one really able to get through. We'll play the turtle. Now we can't scry. Oh, we can. Sorry. So this is good. We can, when we attack, we can make something else unblockable. We'll play the unicorn. So we can actually activate this. Do we have anything to bring back? No. So they could double block this. 2, 3, 4, 5. Pretty much they'll have to block with everything. So we'll make this one unblockable. At least do some damage. We are behind, so it's important to start getting in some damage. Next turn we'll be able to create a 2/2 white knight creature token. They block the 1. 5, 6, 5, and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if we draw another land, we can play this card both sides of it. Maybe it's just better to get the 3/3 on the battlefield. I think I will do that because clearly the opponents. Basically, we have 5 turns left, unless we get some food tokens or something, or we can get rid of this thing. Okay, they play their permanent champion. They got to untap it, so they can play it again as well. This is again one of the sort of ending up being a very long game. Quite close, but I think we're maybe slightly at the disadvantage. I'm not sure. They choose to discard and draw. They threw away. Thrall of possibilities. Okay, they couldn't play that card anyway. Okay, they did 1 more damage. Let's see if they attack. Okay, they play knight and this will untap again. Will they trigger it again? I suspect they will. This can't attack. Okay, they don't attack with anything. That's interesting. So I think we can play all of this. So it's 3, 7, 8, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll play this side. And we'll play the 3, 3. So that's all of our cards. Do we want to give it haste? I think it's important to give that haste. And we won't attack this turn. So we'll use this when we can make the attack. We'll give the 3/3 unblock whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the opponent, if they attack with everything, they do 10 damage. I'm just thinking if we attack with everything, it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is fine, we'll just block it with the drawbridge and we can replay the drawbridge. Not sure if the opponent has considered that. They are just wasting all their mana, in my opinion. If only we could give it a 1/1 +1 counter. And sort of then would at least kill the red cap. Can anything get trample? No. So we really need to draw good cards. That's all we can hope for. And this is something. Put a +1 counter on each creature you control. If at least 3 mana was spent, they all get vigilance. So that's good. So do we want to bring the drawbridge back this turn? So this will play 4. I think we can. I think we can afford to bring it back. So this will give. So this can't block. Trying to look. This will give. Lots of things. Make them lethal to the opponent. Basically, they can double block. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4 blockers. So if we attack with this 1. They will need to block it with 1, 2, 3. They'll need to block it with 3 things. I'll attack with this. And this. We'll make the 4/4 unblockable. Make sure we get some damage in. So the opponent can basically try and double block the knight. So the opponent probably working out what to block now. Okay, they are blocking with the Merchant of the Veil and the Smitten Goldmaster. I think I want the Merchant to be gone. And that's the only one. Okay. I mean, they could have blocked the turtle with the trebuchet just to prevent damage. But I guess they didn't want to. Yeah, they give us 1 damage. So, like I said before, this means basically we have 4 turns. This was actually, this +1 counter is permanent. Was the 1/1 counter wasn't just for the turn. Okay, that was pretty good. It looks like the opponent's going to do this again. Maybe they won't. Maybe they don't realize what's going to happen. They don't play the trebuchet, and we draw land. So they can block with 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they can do 5 damage at most. But I think that's why they saved this thing. That's fine. We'll attack with those 2. Make this one unblockable. So even if the opponent does pump up the red cap and block, they will lose it because it doesn't get any toughness. And they have enough mana. They almost didn't, so maybe that's what they were thinking. Why it took them so long to play their previous turn. Okay, no block. We do 4 damage. Play our land. Now it's pretty much down to drawing. What does this say? Why does it have an exclamation mark? I think it was just in our turn couldn't be blocked. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if they do block this, we can get rid of maybe the defender. Okay, they play Steel Claw Lance. Equipped creature gets +2/+2. Okay. They'll probably put it on the Fervent Champion. It's 3 less 2. So this is basically like a free equip. +2/+2. Okay, they put it on the life gain. Clever. But will they use it? I wonder. No, another land. That's not what we want. So if we attack with this, we'll probably just exchange something. If we attack with this one, can they double block it? They can, but I don't think they will. Do we have more artifacts in our library? In the graveyard? Are any of these artifacts? We can replay them? No. The opponent might block and do a sort of exchange. keep the land. Let's keep the opponent thinking we have a card to play. Yep. I think the opponent forgot to do one last turn. Unless they want to keep it open for blocking purposes, which, I mean, it's silly. I think they should just do as much damage as they could, but it's fine. I don't mind. Elite Headhunter. Sacrifice another creature or an artifact. It deals 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Okay, they can't kill us, any of our creatures, at least with one of these. And they need to sacrifice a creature when they do this. But we are being, surely we are being killed by the trebuchet, which is quite annoying. Okay, they are equipping their thing. So that means next turn this thing, to block this, we'll have to use 2. Okay, flying. Is this too late, or will we make it? We can give it haste at the cost of a drawbridge. Do we not have any more artifacts? They will attack for 4. We have to double block it. I think maybe we don't have a choice. Must try something. If only we got this paladin sooner. Or if we had more artifacts to get out of the graveyard, that would have helped too. I'll just end. Say go. So we will win if we can have 3 more turns, but I think 3 more turns might not be enough. Even just a trebuchet can do enough damage. The opponent has not been attacking with their Rimrock Knight for some reason. But I think they might this turn, because to block the Headhunter we'll need to use 2 blockers. Okay, they move it to the defender. Not sure why they did that. It can't attack. Okay, it's for the flying paladin. Guess that's a good move, although they could have attacked first and then used it. Mystical Dispute. That's just not the card we wanted. So if we attack with this, they'll block with this. Do we have anything in the graveyard? Artifacts. No. This says choose target artifact card in your graveyard. You may cast this card this turn. I mean, there's nothing. We can't do anything. We'll attack with this, they'll block it, it'll die. We attack with this, they'll block it with this, it will die. I mean, this won't even be useful because the opponent does have lots of mana, unless they're casting a very big creature for 8-9. So basically it's got to be something with 7 mana. Also, they could sacrifice like their Rimrock Knight. Yep. And they could kill maybe something. they'll need to do it again. They'll need to sacrifice something else. They just sacrifice it and not do anything with it. It would look that way. So tiny. So equipped creature gets -6. Actually, I should have put that on something else. That's unfortunate. I should have put it on the headhunter so that I could attack. So if we attack with everything, nothing will die, but everything can be blocked. I think this is putting pressure on the opponent, at least. Okay, they sacrificed their trebuchet. I'm not sure why they did that. Okay, so they could block and then kill something. Potentially this one. Not sure that was the opponent's best move. They just had to keep using the trebuchet. Yeah, I don't understand it. Where's this 2 damage from this thing? Maybe the opponent submitted 0? I don't understand. The opponent got rid of their basic win con, if I can call it that. So let's resolve that. Let's let them have that. So they can deal 2 damage to themselves and draw another card. And then let's see if they try and play something, we can counter it. So if it costs at least 3 mana. So they'll get a card, but they won't be able to play it this turn. At least, and they won't be able to equip this either. And we'll be able to attack and win the game. Yep, I think the opponent basically just killed themselves. Okay, they have another land, so they can equip something to a knight, but they don't have anything to block our flying creature that I can see. How did they do 2 damage to themselves? The opponent can attack, but I think it's going to be too late. This doesn't have haste. They can't cast a card. Yep. Now we grant. I mean, now we get this great card, which opponent scoops, and we got a win. Took a very long time, but we got the win. And I think I will just. I think I'll end the video there. For this video, it's gotten probably close to an hour. It's over an hour already. And we managed to get a win, and I'm pretty excited about that. We even got to cast a bunch of blue spells for our daily quest. But in the next video, we will continue to see if we can continue winning. 0 losses, 1 win. Not a bad start. I hope you enjoyed that. I know I certainly did. And see you in the next video.